All right, we are recording. We'll give it a minute or so as people are joining. Feel free to drop where you're joining from. I see someone is joining from Cairo, Egypt. I think that is the most unique and faraway place we've had someone join from. So that is exciting. Let's see.
Hey, Tammy, do you want to put yourself on mute? Your keyboard is coming through.
Oh, sure. Sorry.
Thanks.
Mostly Wisconsin folks so far. Someone from Virginia.
Hello, people rolling in. Welcome.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for joining.
Wow, Charter Manufacturing. We got the whole company joined, it sounds like.
Brad from DOT, welcome. Hey.
And Oregon, cool. Alrighty, well, I'll go ahead and get started. I expect probably a few more people will trickle in as we begin our introductions. So today we are talking showcase of innovative dashboards. We have some awesome dashboards that are going to be presented today about animal shelters, visiting Japan, and also some basketball for you. Any March Madness folks? I know it concluded already, but basketball is very busy still right now. So good timing for that. So we're very excited for our speakers who joined us today. Let's see. There we are. Our leadership team, as always, we've got Tammy, Robert, myself, and Brady. Thanks for joining once again. We're excited to bring another quarter's worth of fun Tableau stuff to everybody. So this is our agenda for the day. We are in introductions right now. I will soon hand it off to Brady and he'll do a quick poll so we can get started and get everyone participating in today's presentation. And then we will begin with our dashboard showcase. So Tess Thompson will start us off with an animal care awareness dashboard. Then that will follow with Hannah Harai and the complete travel guide to Japan. And then Brady will conclude our dashboard showcase with March Madness and NBA playoffs. And then finally today, we do have a leadership opportunity on the Wisconsin Tug team. So we're excited to share that update with everyone. So stay tuned for that. And then lastly, we will conclude as always with upcoming events and our giveaway. So I will go ahead and hand it off to Brady. You can use your phone for the QR code to get to the poll, or we will put the link in chat as well.
Hey everyone, we'll give everyone a minute to join. I'm going to take over recording the share screen. Tosh.
Go for it.
Okay, give everyone another second, and then I will start the poll for today. First question, where are you joining us from today? Milwaukee area, Madison area, other part of Wisconsin. If you haven't already, put that in the chat. I'm in the Milwaukee area, Greenfield, a suburb outside of the city. Got a good amount. Okay. Mostly Madison and Milwaukee. Next question. Probably more for your Wisconsin residents. Are you planning to go to a Brewers game this season? I went to my first one last Wednesday. Getting home during the floods was not easy. There were cars stuck everywhere.
That is dedication that you even went.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have gone if I really thought it was going to flood that bad. I'll tell you that.
Who did they play?
Blue Jays. A lot of Blue Jay fans.
Wow.
Next question. Are you planning to attend a Tableau conference in person, virtually? No. This year, I want to do as much virtually as I can. I've gone twice in person, but not this year for me. One of the Madison leaders, Jen Shepard, is presenting at the Tableau conference this year.
Yep, I saw that. She'll be doing a theater session. So I believe if for the one person who's going in person, I believe that's in like the main conference area. There's a bunch of different theater breakout sessions. So definitely keep an eye out for that.
Have you started your spring cleaning? That would be a no for me, really. I have not. The garage needs to get cleaned out badly.
Next week. Next week.
It's just perpetually next week, next weekend.
Yeah.
Do you use Tableau AI features every day? Sometimes, not really. I don't use them at all. I know they try to sell you on them hard. That is a lot of no's. We have agreements with our clients that we can't use their data to train, can't be used to train AI models. So we can't use their data for anything Tableau related AI. So that kind of limits what we can do with it. Do you watch NBA or NHL playoffs? I was watching both last night. That's perfectly fine. Last question. Do you own a pet? Dog, cat, other, or no? I share a dog with my parents. I work from home, so sometimes when they go into work, they'll drop her off with me for a few days. Good balance for me. All right. That was today's poll. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Brady.
Thanks, Brady.
Good contemporaneous questions around sports and the seasons.
Yes. All right, we'll keep moving along. So first speaker of the day is Tess. Tess was a student with Robert, Professor Robert. She graduates this year. Very exciting. Congrats to you for that, Tess.
Thank you.
Let's see, majoring in accounting, minor in business analytics, beginning tax audit career in at Chortech, sorry. Very exciting. Are you looking forward to that, Tess?
Yeah, so last summer I did an internship with them, partly in tax and partly in audit, and then they brought me back starting in January for a full audit internship. And so that goes right up until the end of May, and then starting first week of June, I'll be full-time in their audit department. So it's been a really nice transition of feeling like I know what I'm doing before starting full-time at the job. So very excited. And they do have a outsourced accounting department that does data analytics. So I'm hoping to like nudge my way in there a little bit.
Yes, we support that. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Let us know who we need to nudge.
Yeah, I think it should be pretty easy. I usually can talk my way into that stuff.
All right, Tess, I'm going to stop sharing and give you the screen.
All right, so this is a dashboard that I created for a class I took with Professor Salas was my professor for it last semester. It was data visualization tool and techniques. It was all about Tableau. So I chose to do my project on an animal shelter in Long Beach, California. The location doesn't have any significance to me. It was just a animal shelter that had data published in a way that was relatively easy for me to download and work with. But Long Beach Animal Care Services is a no-kill animal shelter. So what that means is that they won't euthanize any of their animals if it comes to like they don't have enough space. But if an animal is like very old or has severe behavioral issues, they will euthanize. So that that's important because that explains some of the data that you'll be seeing in my presentation. I chose to do it on an animal shelter in general, just because I grew up with always having a lot of animals, and a local animal shelter in Waukesha, Hawes. I've done volunteering for them several times, doing dog walking and stuff like that. So it was just something that I had enough of an interest in that I felt I could come up with ideas for. So looking at my dashboard, this is the main overview page. This map isn't loading, so let me try refreshing to see if it'll pop up. There we go. There is a lot of data that makes it run a little slow sometimes on my computer, so I'm just going to filter it down to just cats and dogs for the species. And for the intake type, just gonna do, let's see, I'll do strays and surrenders. So what stray means is that it was an animal running around outside that they trapped and brought into the shelter. Return/surrender just means an owner brought it because they couldn't take care of it, or maybe they adopted it, realized it wasn't a good fit, and decided to return it. And then for outcome type, I'll do adopted. Obviously, that's the goal. And then terminated means they had to euthanize it, just so the charts are a little easier to work with. There's not so much data. So this is the overview page, like I was saying. Up here, a couple important stats that I thought would be good to have on display: the total amount of animals, the percentage animals that were adopted, which obviously that's the goal, so we want that number to be high. And then that next one, the average length of stay. So that's how many days they were in the shelter from when they were brought in to when their outcome was, whether that's being adopted, euthanized, some of the other options like fostering. And then this was one I just thought was interesting. How old were they when at intake? So you can see majority of their animals, well, cats and dogs for right now, were around 2 years old when they were brought into the shelter. So from my experience at the animal shelter in Waukesha, two of the big concepts that the staff really keep an eye on is what drives the outcome of the animal. So if the animal is being adopted, or if they're having to be put down, or if they're getting into a foster, and why are those things happening, to be able to, you know, work with that so that the outcome is majority adopted. Obviously, that's their goal. And then also they want to know what drives the length of stay for the animals. So if the average length of stay is like 100 days, obviously that's an issue. They want the rate of the rate of like animals coming in to going out to getting the next group. They want that to be relatively quick, obviously. I know the shelter in Waukesha, they have either a truck or a plane full of animals that comes every few months. So obviously they want to be able to turn over their animals fast. So what's driving their length of stay? That's another thing that I know the staff care about. So taking that was what encouraged me to design the dashboard this way. Even though I don't know this animal shelter in specific, I would assume that this would be important. So for the overview page, maybe whoever's running the shelter, this is something they can easily glance at and get a couple ideas from. So the map, I think, is my favorite on this page. So obviously, zooming in here, a lot of the animals are going to be found right around the area of this shelter. But as you can see here, they've got some from Mexico and some other states. So that shows me that they probably have some sort of transport like the shelter that I'm familiar with. This just shows intakes over time. So 2020, you can tell there's a very low amount of intake for March of 2020, only 39 animals. I'm going to assume that's due to COVID. They probably just weren't having as many people bringing in animals, not wanting to interact and, spread COVID. And for whatever reason, in June of 2023, they had the most intakes at 343. So this could be something they could look at and see, maybe are they doing a better job at marketing their shelter as, a good place for people to bring their pets if they feel like they can't handle them or something like that. And then for the outcome drivers, so this here, obviously we can see that the largest amount of cats and dogs, they come in as a stray and then they go out adopted. So that's good. Obviously we want the adopted sector to be bigger than the terminated. And then this diagram was a new one to me, but I thought it made a lot of sense for my project. So over here is the intake condition, which is different from the intake type. Intake condition was the animal ill? Were they injured? Were they, like premature, or were they, really underweight? Were they, being abused, or were they just normal, like a healthy age? Everything's fine, just they were a stray. And then seeing how that flows, because I have it, filtered down right now, seeing how that flows into adopted and terminated. So this they could look at and see, if a big chunk of the animals coming in that are underage and underweight, if say a majority of them were ending up being terminated, well, then maybe the shelter needs to start focusing resources more towards being able to take in animals that are severely underweight and being able to, get some weight on them before they need to be put down, something like that. This owner surrender reason map, obviously, I can only do so much as to how the shelter organizes their data. I would assume the general category of owner problem probably could be broken down into a lot more of these categories. But obviously it makes sense a big chunk would be the owner had to surrender the animal because they were moving or because their landlord said they couldn't have one. The animal bit somebody. It was just too expensive. Stuff like that is just to see, how in what ways can they help the community? Like, what are the big problems that owners are facing that results in them having to surrender their pet? And then the last page is the length of stay drivers. This one is just comparing the average length of stay by species. So you can see for whatever reason, dogs are staying in the shelter longer than cats on average. Over here, we have a length of stay by intake type. So those are pretty similar as well. And then length of stay by intake condition. So here we can see, if the intake condition is an aged animal or they have, bad behavioral issues, their length of stay is quite a bit shorter than animals who come in normal. So I could assume that that's because these animals are probably having to be put down, whereas these animals are up for adoption and sticking around the shelter longer because, there's just a lot of animals to look through. This one's pretty similar to age at intake versus length of stay. So obviously you can see that the younger animals are staying for longer, probably because they are not being put down as opposed to maybe the older animals. Although you can see some of these older animals have a long length of stay too, because they're usually looked over more than the younger animals are. So that, I think, pretty much sums up my project. I had a lot of fun making it, doing more of like the designing of a dashboard as opposed to the previous class I had with Professor Salas. We were doing more of just cleaning data in Tableau Tableau Prep and then making charts in Tableau Desktop. Whereas in this class, we got to do more of the, designing, which this bar over here, choosing all these things, was fun to make, and getting to make different dashboards was cool. I'm not a super artistic creative person. I mean, I do have certain artistic parts of myself. Like I like to play music and stuff like that. But when it comes to creativity with colors, I usually am lacking. So I tried to push myself a little bit more. I think I might have gone a little bit overboard. I guess it's probably for you guys to decide, but there is a correlation with the color. If there's no like distinction, it's just purple because that matches the rest of the overall dashboard. But the rest of the colors do coordinate with the species. So down here you can see like that dot is a dog, whereas that dot, the blue dot, is a cat. So that was where I went with that. I tried to make it not too like in your face, but that's something I'm trying to work on with my dashboards and my charts in general is adding color in a way that makes sense, but keeping them from being boring. Because I think sometimes that is what I struggle with. But overall, I had a lot of fun making it. And Professor Salas is awesome. He's not making me say that. He just is. And he's a really great professor. So I feel a lot more confident about making dashboards than I did before that semester. So if anyone has any questions, you can go for it. Otherwise, I'll pass it off to Hannah.
Thank you, Tess. I do have a question for you regarding your design. Did you design only in Tableau or did you use any other tools to pull in design? I'm just looking at your logo, especially if you pulled that just from the web or if you created that somewhere.
Yeah, so majority of the design was in Tableau. And then the logo, I just used like the snip tool on my computer to pull it right off of the website. And then some of these buttons, Professor Salas showed us how to make buttons in, I believe it was PowerPoint, and then bring them into this. I haven't done much like, I haven't had a lot of classes when it comes to like editing, designing software on computers. So I'm pretty much still a noob. So it was mainly in Tableau for that.
Very nice. It does not come across that way. You did a great job pulling it all together, just so you know.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. I also did have one other question. So you mentioned that you have experience with an animal shelter in the area that you've worked with.
Yeah.
When looking at this data compared to just your in-person experience at the one that you've been at, were you surprised at all by any of what you found in here, or was it relatively what you would have expected?
It was relatively what I expected it to be for the most part. I think some of the I pulled up cat and dogs here just because I think it's what people are most familiar with, but some of the other the livestock or wild animal selections that you can make over here had some more interesting things to look at, just because the shelter that I'm familiar with didn't have livestock or wild animals. They basically had majority cat and dogs, and then sometimes like other little furry like guinea pigs and stuff like that, and some birds and reptiles. But so the livestock one is cool because I don't necessarily have the answer to some of why does certain charts look the way they are with livestock, because I'm just not familiar with how adopting livestock would work. But for the most part, for main cat and dogs, it was more or less what I expected it to be. Just I think if I was working for this shelter and I made this for someone to actually be using, I think it would be helpful for someone who's more in a managerial role, who maybe isn't necessarily interacting with the animals on a daily basis, for them to maybe see some important trends jump out at them to work with. But yeah, it was consistent, to answer your question.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. And I think really great insight you brought into it too, with just thinking about who the end user could be for this dashboard and how they would go about using it. I liked hearing that perspective about it too while you walked us through this. So thanks for sharing.
Of course.
All right. Our next presenter is Hannah Harai, also soon to be senior at Carroll University, also one of Robert's students, double majoring in accounting and business analytics. Will be graduating in 2027. Very exciting also. And courting offers already to start your career. That's great. Congrats on that. Hannah, anything else to add here?
Um, I don't know. I'm also going for audit internship this summer, kind of focusing accounting major.
Awesome. Good luck with that. I hope it goes well.
Thank you.
All right. I will stop sharing and then you can go ahead and share your dashboard and walk us through it.
Perfect. Okay, so can you see my dashboard?
Yes.
Okay. One more thing about me is I'm international student from Japan and studying at Carroll University with TES, and this was one of my passion project rather than like business project, and I love traveling. And in one of the class I took with Professor Robert, I did flight information. So I always wanted to like do something with flight information while traveling. And when it came to my passion project, I wanted to stick with the travel, but then I didn't know what to focus on travel. So I kind of made like whole travel guide of Japan. And my whole project is kind of as you can see here, it's like Travel Guide Japan brings together the data-driven insight to help you plan your visit to Japan. This project highlights 4 major destinations: Tokyo, Osaka, Hokkaido, and Okinawa. So I made a dashboard that explore 4 cities in Japan and kind of help people who's planning to go to Japan to decide which city they want to go to, but based on the data we have here. And I really try to actually be able to use this. So I brought a bunch of data source from like a Japanese government website, but I'll talk about it as we go. But I chose this 4 city: Hokkaido, Okinawa, Osaka, Tokyo, because these 4 cities are in different regions of Japan. As you can see, this Hokkaido is north part of Japan, and Tokyo is the capital. I think everyone kind of knows about Tokyo. And Osaka is more towards south and west. It's a second biggest city, and this is where I'm from, so I couldn't miss having Osaka. And I also have Okinawa, but Okinawa it actually locates more south, and it's kind of seen as Hawaii of Japan, where people travel a lot for summer and vacations. And just to match the size of the dashboard, I have some photo galleries that I took from random websites. But I'm gonna explore each cities a little bit, and each cities are basically about the same, but there's some different components, like unique components to each city. Let me see if I can get it there. Okay, so first, this is Tokyo. Since this is not exactly the business dashboard, and I'm made this dashboard to be used by like not data experts people, so I have like a lot of insights that like if it's data professional data people, you can probably don't tell all the insights without me telling the insights. But to be user friendly, I put like some insights and explanation of Tokyo. But this is Tokyo is #1 safest city in the world, #1 busiest city in the world, and #3 cleanest city in the world. And I really try to use the tulip to explain. So this one has the source in the tulip just to give more credibility. And first in each dashboard, I have weather first. In this weather one, let me zoom in a little bit. This talks about weather in Tokyo. Basically, you can see the temperature, humidity, and the rain, whatever the user wants to focus on, if they want to go in the summer or winter. And this gives the little insights from the data. And this was taken from the Japanese weather department government site. And this one, Japan is really known for cherry blossom, so I wanted to bring some kind of stuff about cherry blossom. And the one key thing about cherry blossom is that they only last a week or two. and you have to go exact time, like correct timing to see the best cherry blossom view. So this is average bloom date of cherry blossom in Tokyo, because it really depends on how warm the city is, and it varies in year, as you can see here. This is a 10 years trend, and as this is like the past 30 years of average is March 24 when the cherry blossom bloomed first. And next I focus in hotels, because hotel was one of the things I wanted to focus on, but I didn't have enough data to focus on hotels. So it ended up just to be one component of the dashboard. But this one, you can see how many hotels are in Tokyo. And out of these 29,000, almost 30,000 hotels, this is easy type hotel, business hotel. Ryokan is it's like a Japanese style hotel where you don't have bed, but instead you have futon, where like you don't have the bed frame. And when you select hotel type, you can see the occupancy here. So if you would like to go like less crowded time, you can see which type of hotel is less crowded at what months. And I try to make this whole like black thing like look like hotel, and then occupancy fill the room window, if that makes sense. But this is where I struggled the most, because this black picture was floating object, and I like literally made this graphic, and trying to adjust the graph and the bar chart and the graphic was really hard part for me. And then moving on, I have Mission Restaurant Guide. This is probably one of my most favorite parts. It's really zoomed in right now. But, oh, here is Tokyo. But you can filter if you want to see 1 Michelin star restaurant or 2 Michelin star restaurant. Oh, and I have Cuisine Group filtered right now, so that's why you didn't see anything for 2 stars. But my favorite part is when you click, you can actually go to restaurant page. I don't know if this shows in the screen, but it takes you to Michelin Guide website. So you can actually see what like restaurant website and then get to know more, and you can filter with cuisine groups here. And same thing about hotel. I have Michelin Hotel Guide. You can again select the Michelin star filter. And this one also have link. So you can go to the hotel link to see more information on like if you actually want to book right now. And lastly, for Tokyo, I have flight information. The flight is one of my most exciting component of travel for me, so I couldn't miss having flight information. But this one is intended to have like if you are in Tokyo, you fly from Tokyo to somewhere to travel more cities of Japan. So that's why you can only see departure in Haneda and Tokyo, the Narita airport, which is 2 airport in Tokyo. And then you can select each route. See, this is Haneda to Fukuoka, which is like more southwest side. And this is showing how many flights per month. I think I actually forgot what this was, but 1686 flights per month and 70, almost 80% occupancy is the average. And you can see which month has a low number of flights. You can really see February has really low number of the flights, but occupancy kind of doesn't really follow. And you can see that with most of the flights. And this is also another thing I struggle. Like for example, I can't find it, but there's some airport that's missing information and I couldn't find information. But this pretty much sums up the Tokyo. And next I'll go Osaka, my city. And pretty much same thing, but different explanation. And there's one unique component for each city. And Osaka's unique component is about takoyaki. As you can see, takoyaki is like a octopus bowl. Like it's kind of like a street food in Osaka, and everyone in Osaka knows how to make takoyaki, and we have takoyaki maker at each house in Osaka, and this is like a tradition that Osaka people knows how to make takoyaki. So before going to takoyaki, I will show Osaka, but it's about the same weather, cherry blossom, hotels, mission guide, and this one, Kyoto, which I think a lot of people know about Japan, is actually next to Osaka. So I decided to not make Kyoto just because it was like same region, but still in the Michelin restaurant guide, I included Kyoto and Osaka because Kyoto also has really a lot of Michelin starred restaurant. And hotel guide, it also have Osaka's hotel guide and another airport stuff. But going back to takoyaki dashboard, sorry, this is intended to be used for user from US. And if this dashboard talks about, you can see like, you can select your city. Let's say we're in Las Vegas. And this is the takoyaki place in Las Vegas. And you can see how much is the takoyaki per piece. And you can compare the price. So Tokyo bowls is cheaper. This one's a lot more expensive. And then this one shows the average distance and the travel total delivery time. You can see which, and then when you click, like let's say we want to do golden taco, you can see the tendency with the distance and the delivery time. And then here, I really don't like spicy, so I kind of took the spicy part of the data set and then showed pretty much this place. I would think it could be safe for me because it's not really spicy, but at the same time, there is good amount of mild and hot. So I'll be a little worried maybe. But, oh, this one is not for me, high and mild. But this is what you can see intended for the US user. And I guess I'll go Hokkaido. Next, this is a city that's known for really cold weather and snow. Like my friend from Hokkaido said, Wisconsin weather is like Hokkaido. But I have little like top 10 reason to visit Hokkaido. And this place has really good fish too. But again, weather, cherry blossom. I don't know if you remember, this is like a month later than Tokyo's average cherry blossom bloom date because it's more cold and winter is long. And hotels, Michelin hotel guide. And this one doesn't have Michelin restaurant guide just because they didn't have any Michelin restaurant. And another Hokkaido. But yeah. And then the one piece, the unique piece about Hokkaido is I have a weather trend for like more longer years. You can see rain, snow, sunlight, hours, temperature. I put this just because Hokkaido is really known for the snow. And as you can see, like you can see the trend if you get more snows these years. But lately seems like we're getting less snows, probably because the weather has been crazy. And lastly, Okinawa. This one, Okinawa, has a lot of unique history. So I put more about history of Okinawa, where you can jump to different like dashboard to see more about Okinawa. And then also must do in Okinawa. And the best restaurant in Okinawa as well. And again, it talks about weather in Okinawa, cherry blossom hotels, Michelin hotel guide, and flight information. And lastly, I have hospital map, just because I had to put something to fill the dashboard, and I didn't know what to put. And the only thing I thought could be potentially useful was the hospital data set I found. And this basically talks about where the hospital is and what kind of hospital this is. And you can filter if you want to go hospital or if you want to go inpatient clinic. But that's pretty much my dashboard is. And my favorite part was designing. I struggled with a lot of creating graphics and everything, and I was asking questions to my professor, and I always try to go for like, oh, let's make it cute, and making it cute was my whole like pillar or the center where I kind of focused all the time making it cute, just because it's not really a business, so I want it to be user friendly and really just focus on cute while actually being able to use for but yeah, dashboard. These are my dashboard. I think if you have any question, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hannah. That was incredible. I would say you were very successful in making it cute, just so you know.
Thank you.
I love all the designs. You do have a few questions. The first question is, are most of the Michelin star restaurants in Japan relatively expensive? My brother is going there in the fall, but he's on a pretty tight budget.
Oh, that's a good question. I would assume so, I think. Let's say like in Tokyo, this is Mission Hotel Guide. Let's pick this random one-star restaurant. Oh, I think so. I think out of at least this one has 4 currency mark out of 5, I think. Probably meaning really expensive.
Okay.
I'm like not really. I don't really have much money to go Michelin star as well, so I can't really tell. I'm sorry.
Got it. So this is a guide if you have a little bit extra money to spend too.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Thanks for sharing that. Another question was, where did you gather all this data from?
That's a good question because it was from like actually everywhere. So the weather data, I remember I was gathering from like this Japanese weather department from the government site. And this cherry blossom was different data set. The hotel data set was also Japanese government website, but different department. And this mission one, they just Googled and copy and paste. And there was a lot of data that didn't come in Excel. So I had to copy and paste and like clean the data manually, which was a lot of work. And obviously this flight info was also different data set. So really it's from everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It does seem like that. It's very robust. You have a lot of information. It really does act like a true travel guide, I feel like. So you definitely met your goal here. And I guess one question that I have for you is, how long did you spend building this dashboard in total, and cleaning the data and finding the data, all of it?
Oh, I don't know, but I remember probably like last one third of the class last semester was pretty much designated for the final project, and we get to work on in class time as well. So the professor was able to help us like all the time, and I remember I worked a lot after class or like not in class as well, just because I really like to get it to like cute as possible. But I can't tell, but probably like a month with everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's quite a dedication you put in there. Well, great work. Thank you so much for sharing that with everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I'm gonna take back the screen. I will say before we move on to our last speaker, Brady, there's been some complex charts between the Sankey chart in Tessa's dashboard and then the flights in Hannah's dashboard. Both of those I would say are more on the advanced side for Tableau charts, building those out. You don't see those too often. So that was really exciting to see so far. So Brady, you have some big shoes to fill here. Brady is on the leadership team. He works at Baker Tilly, works to solve a wide variety of client issues, especially for Tableau. Brady, I will let you take it away to showcase your basketball dashboards.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and steal the screen. And of course, this we get for working on things day of. I found out today that one of my dashboards is specifically one dashboard does not want to be published to Tableau Public. So I'm still working to figure that out. But let's start with this one. So I have two dashboards I wanted to show today. First one is based on March Madness. Pretty common thing that I've done with friends, done with work, is doing squares. So how squares work, if a score is 72 to 71, it's the last two numbers from each score. So it'd be the winning team would be a 2, losing team would be a 1. And then over the history from 1985 through this year, what are the outruns on those squares? So you can see like our number one square is 3 and 2 right here. You can see the history of all those games. What caused it? Normally those squares change in values. You can change if you want. This is what the proportions I played at this year, but you could change it to whatever you want. That would change the ROI based on what where those games have come from for those squares. So go anywhere from like number 1 here. There's lots of hits to, I think the worst one is 4-7, where that is, oh, this is 99. It's a tie right here. So this one got hit this year, but overall has not had anything past the Sweet 16, which is where most of the money comes from. Obviously not super scientific, as this is weighted heavily if you get hit later in the rounds versus early rounds. A lot of national championship game impact or Final Four in these squares, but just a fun thing to do to see if you got a good square or not. Back-to-back years, I got good squares and then they didn't return. So that's how it works sometimes. Any questions on those? Okay. And then the other one I spent a lot more time on is I'm sure this is desktop right now. There's a version also published on Tableau Public. This sounds updated. Couldn't get it to update. I want to go on the wrong screen. 1 second. Okay. The right screen. It only wants to go on the one screen I don't want it to go on. Okay, well, 1 second. Stop sharing, need to reshare. So this is something I worked on for NBA playoff run scoring changes. So what we're trying to show here is I follow basketball a lot, and what's the difference between a regular season player and a postseason player? And do they get better? Do they get more efficient? Do they get worse? Do they get less efficient? So for an example, I remember this from 2020. This is the most change here. The one I have is Donovan Mitchell. In the playoffs, he averaged 36 points a game and shot true shooting percentage of 69.7%, versus the regular season he was relatively efficient, but not nearly in the same category. This is pretty helpful for me to look at players that have gotten better or worse and know the kind of player they are. You can see like Kristaps Porzingis here has 2 of the top 10. Now, I have a pretty significant data filtering on here just because it's all relative. So things I have accounted for, do they play enough minutes per game, enough points per game in the regular season? Do they play enough games? Do they play enough games in the postseason? What was their big change in minutes? Because you don't want to just look at just because it changed in minutes. So ideally, you want to see like this. Joel Embiid went down, but he was actually playing more minutes in the playoffs, so he just shot worse and played worse in the playoffs. You can see what years. This goes anywhere from 2025. I have this data through all the way through 1977. You can look at, I have to go back to 2000, just keep it to this decade. There's also a data search tab of do you want to do this by true shooting percentage or points per game. So what this is saying here is these players got way more efficient in the postseason. This is Chris Middleton from a few years ago. He's in general played pretty well in the playoffs as a Milwaukee Buck versus the regular season. He's better in the playoffs, which is what you're looking for. And there's also players that have shot way worse in the playoffs and just played worse in general. I have a filter for did they make an All-NBA team? How did the stars play? Difference in true shooting percentage and points per game. So these are the best players in the league. Did they really step up their shooting in the playoffs? Go by team. For the Bucks, it's going to all be Bucks logos because the logo is just based on the team they played. But if I did that, we can see like our best ones for Wisconsin team this year for the century. Brooke Lopez, Chris Middleton, based on the small points per game. This was the year the Bucks won the title for Giannis. You can filter for any player. Show instructions is pretty helpful too to see what you were looking at from the different options to do. And so this is something I've gone through just to kind of look at comparing like when people, my friends talk about like, is this a good postseason player? Is it bad? I like to look at actual numbers versus just vibes. So this is something I built to kind of answer that question. Are these players playing worse offensively in the regular season, worse in the playoffs? Are they playing better in the playoffs? And ideally, they led to a lot of games, and that's kind of what makes a great playoff player versus someone that's in the regular season that falls off consistently in the playoffs. And that's what I have for sharing. Tosh, you want to go ahead and share the slide again? I could talk about our opening.
Yes, definitely. And also just a quick thanks for sharing your dashboards too. There was one question, Brady.
No, you don't want to talk about that question.
Okay, I'll skip over it then.
Yeah, it doesn't explain why Wisconsin can't get out of the first weekend. No, it does not. No, it does not.
All right. Well, feel free to go and check out Brady's dashboards. Again, very, very insightful. I like to go off vibes to get insights, but I think data is probably a more accurate way to do that.
Yeah.
Sorry,
go back one slide, Tosh.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I agree. I mean, vibes are fun, but it's helpful to have actual numbers behind that. And then when your vibes are right with the numbers, then you really feel good. I misread the slide. My bad. So
I have this added in.
You're right. Leadership opportunity. So we are looking for one more person to join us. Tammy is stepping away by the end of the year. She has been very helpful for us over the years, and we're looking to 1 to 2 people to help replace her work. We're looking for commitment of a couple hours a month, 1 month. We do an hour meeting every month, and there might be some other tasks to do outside of that. For me, I enjoy it because it keeps me connected to Tableau outside of just the daily work I do. No one else. It's mainly me using Tableau for my team that I work with. So it's good to bounce ideas and talk about Tableau outside of that. And being on the leadership team is helpful for me to just make sure I keep up to date on the new things that are happening with Tableau, because you get very used to doing what you're doing. And outside of that, if you're not leading or joining tugs, then it can kind of get you're missing new updates. So being able to have that is nice. And then there's meetups at Tableau conference that leadership gets to do as well. I did those last year with Robert. So overall, pretty small commitment of time, but something that I really enjoy for putting that effort in, and something to do outside of just regular Tableau work.
I would second all of that. Thanks for announcing that, Brady.
Mhm.
If you are interested in having a leadership role on the team with us, just contact anyone on the leadership team. You can send a DM right now while we're in this meeting. Feel free to also connect with us on LinkedIn if you want to think on it. And if you have our emails, feel free. So we're very excited. And like Brady said, very sad that Tammy will be stepping out, but I know her company will not be going forward with Tableau anymore. So that's a part of it. Is it definitely helps when you're involved in the Tableau community through work and outside engagements. So sometimes that's just the way that it goes. So Tammy, we're happy to have you for the rest of the year. Any other updates you want to share there?
No, you kind of said it all. I was just typing in the chat that I really enjoy working with this team. So my reasons for leaving have nothing to do with the team, or that it's not a fun and engaging project to work on, because it absolutely is. But we're transitioning out of Tableau, so I can't justify the time that I spend during the workday with the Tableau user group, because I'm not using it during my work. So I don't want to step away, but it makes sense to do that, because I won't be keeping up with all of the new features and things with Tableau. So it's a wonderful team to work with. I really enjoy doing this, so I highly recommend just asking us for feedback if you think you might be interested.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Tammy.
Yep, and Colin just posted a question. We're transitioning to Power BI.
All right, I'm going to go back one slide just to talk quick about some other events coming up. So obviously today we're in our Wisconsin Tug. I know in May, I believe the Milwaukee Tug is scheduling something. I just don't have a date yet for that. If anyone does know it, feel free to drop that in the chat. But all right, May 21st. Thank you, Colleen. May 21st, mark your calendars. That's when the Tableau Milwaukee user group is. And then Madison's is June 4th. That's their in-person flagship event. So Robert was talking about that just before this meeting. They do some Tableau training. So consider that time if you're interested. Awesome, Colleen. Thank you. Looks like save the dates are going out for the Milwaukee Tug for May. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be at Ward 4. So bunch of Tableau user group events coming up. Just keep your eye out. Usually they're posted on LinkedIn. If you're following the Tableau user group, you'll get the email notification once the event is posted. Or you can join the groups on LinkedIn specifically for the tugs. So if you're looking for where to get more information, just feel free to reach out to any of us on the leadership team here. And then Tableau conference is coming up. Very exciting. May 5th through the 7th. If you are planning on going in person, I know it was a small group, but it is out in San Diego, California. There are some members from my team, Rising Tides Analytics, that are hosting a meetup for anyone coming in from Wisconsin. So that's why we're sharing this update here, because if you're going to be there, feel free to meet them at Achilles Coffee Roasters Gas Lamp on May 5th, which I believe is the first full day of the conference. So keep an eye out for that as well. I think that will be posted on LinkedIn too, if you're going to the conference. All righty, Robert, I'll pass the update to you here for our swag giveaway.
Thanks a lot. Just getting that ready with the people online at this moment. So real quick, I'm also involved in leadership team of the Madison Tableau user group. So I just want to make a second plug for our June 4th event. It is our flagship event in the summer. It's in person. We're going to be at the Hill Farms location, the Department of Transportation, ETF, and other state office buildings location. And we do a big workshop, collaborative workshop with everybody on data storytelling, design processes, how to kind of bring your data forward in a way that resonates, lands with people, and like I said, multi-part interactive workshop. We did a starter of it last year that went really, really great. If you were there last year, yay. This is intended to be like tier 2. So if you didn't make it last year, it's okay. We'll catch you up. If you did come last year, it's going to be layering on top of that. So hope you'll participate. That's Madison Tug, June 4th. Save the date. It'll be in the afternoon. Okay, on to swag. So first I have to give you a preface. If you've attended events before, you know that we give away, in our Wisconsin Tug, we give away gift certificates to the Tableau swag store. Probably unbeknownst to all of you, Salesforce and Tableau has changed or is in the process of changing vendors for their swag store, their online merch store. And believe it or not, let's all hate on Salesforce a little teeny tiny bit today. It's not ready yet. So we're going to draw two people's names for a $40 gift certificate that we will have to promise to deliver to you in the coming weeks once they get the store set up. It's supposed to be ready by the end of April. It was supposed to be March. It was supposed to be February. Fingers crossed. So don't hate on us. So I'm going to draw 2 names from our Wheel of Names, Wheel of Fortune type thing. And if you are the person selected, please post your email address in the chat window or DM it to me, and I'll reach out to you in the next 24 hours or so just to kind of connect and make you a follow-up promise to get it to you. I see people are dropping off online real quick, so I better go fast. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen, and it won't let me share my screen. Thank you.
Yes.
Here we go. Here we go. The Wheel of Names. Click to spin. Oops. Here we go. All right, can somebody check for me? Is Nick still online? Is Nick still online?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Nick, if you could please drop into the chat or send me a DM with your email address, that would be great. And, Jason R.
I do not see Jason.
I don't either.
Uh-oh. All
Maybe
right.
one more.
Stand by. Oh, no, I closed it. Hold on. There we go. One more time. No whammies, no whammies. And we've got Colleen. Hey.
Hey.
Yep, she's still here.
Cool. So again, if you could please drop your email in the chat, I'll reach out. And that was Nick, right? And Colleen. And we'll get you guys a $40 gift certificate here in the very near future to find something that you like from the online Tableau merch store.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Thanks everybody for joining us today. Thank you very much to my 2 students, Tess and Hannah, for presenting. They were both exquisite, excellent students, top tier, and did such a great job in class. So I'm really proud of them and the work that they did and creativity they bring to it. Just want to give them kudos. I wish we had a way of doing applause online through Bevy, but we don't. So anyway, I wish you all a very nice afternoon and the rest of April. May you stay warm and dry.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.